Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected panelists, keynote speakers, participants, Assalamu alaikum. After listening to the excellent presentation from the keynote speaker and very rich deliberations from eminent panelists, I do not have much to add, frankly. And already we have listened for about more than 100 minutes. So I want to be very brief in my concluding speech. I will take up only one issue from what we have heard today. That one issue is related from two of the persons. One person has said, one of the panelists, he or she has said that why people are not protesting. So it might be a social disease. She was speaking about Abrar, about how he could have been killed in Buet. Let me share with you. In fact, where Abrar was killed, I was staying in that hostel during my student days in Buet, Sher Bangla Hall. So I was staying there. And also another common feature with Abrar was a student of chemical engineering. Incidentally, I'm also a chemical engineer. So on the issue of Abrar, one of the panelists has said that it has become a social disease that people are not protesting. This is one. And Dr. Awal has said that everything depends on one person. These two are related, I find. Social disease, that people are silent. And secondly, what Professor Awal has said, that why everything depending on one person in a government. Everything, every single order comes from one person. Okay, I'm not surprised. Because what is Bangladesh today? Bangladesh today is a classical Orwellian state. I'm sure all of the panelists have read Orwell's 1984. So Bangladesh is a classical Orwellian state. And what happened if we try to remember what was there in 1984 and what torture can make a person. If you remember, the main character, the hero of 1984, he was tortured in such a way in that book that he gave evidence against his girlfriend. Against his girlfriend, whom he wanted to marry. And he was deeply in love with her. But torture can make a man like that the main character of 1984 was ready to give evidence. So what is happening in Bangladesh? The same scenario. And that is the reason why the society is silent. It is not that society is silent because of some inherent disease. Society is silent because of the torture committed by the present fascist regime for the long 15 years. You have to understand that. As my colleague Shibli has said, that I am one of the victims of torture. I will not go into details of my experience because that will take too much time. I can only tell you that, I can only share you that I have seen in my own eyes torture of other people, and I have also suffered from torture. So both things I have seen. And let me share another thing with you. How the country is being governed now. You know, the top boss of DB, the detective branch of police, where I was in remand. I was in remand for 39 days, and out of 39 days, probably I was in DB for about 20 days. So one of the top guy of DB told me that the one person about whom Professor Awal was referring, that is the present fascist ruler, Sheikh Hasina, she was directly calling to DB high officials to know how much torture I am suffering. How intense is the torture? And the so-called prime minister, she was personally, monitoring my torture. So that is the situation of Bangladesh today. And give you another example. The day I was arrested from my newspaper office, you know, the Home Minister was calling the IG of police and the senior police officers why there was delay in arresting me, because some of my colleagues, they were not allowing the police to arrest me. I was arrested at 4 o'clock in the morning. And the Home Minister at that time was a lady. We are talking about the ladies also today. She was a lady at that time, Shahara Khatun. She was the Home Minister at that time. And Shahara Khatun was keeping, she was not sleeping until it was confirmed that I am arrested. And the same police officials told me that Shahara Khatun was telling that she has to inform the Prime Minister that the Operation Mahmudur Rahman is completed. So that is how Bangladesh is being run today. And again, I go back to 1984, to Orwellian state. There was a character. It was not a character. It was a character, but actually it was a system. The Big Brother. The Big Brother was there in 1984. In Bangladesh today, Sheikh Hasina is the Big Brother. Omnipresent Big Brother in every single government decision, in every single murder, in every single enforced disappearance, in every single single murder, extrajudicial killing. She is the linchpin. And you know, if you remember, the army chief or the former army chief, General Aziz, he told to his friend that this extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance are monitored by whom? By the defense advisor of the Prime Minister, Major General Tariq Siddiqui. And who is Tariq Siddiqui? Tariq Siddiqui is the brother-in-law of the younger sister of the current Prime Minister. So it is in the family. The entire family is actually involved in murder, in every single torture, and also the crime against humanity. So that is the situation of Bangladesh. So society is a sort of, it is not a disease, but they are forced to remain immune to the everyday torture. Even somebody told about a very unfortunate lady, her name is Jasmine. Jasmine was killed by the RAB while in custody. And look how RAB is trying to justify the killing of that woman. And another incident has happened about 2 weeks back. A guard in a house, his name is Alam probably, or I may forgot his name. I think it is Alam. He is a guard in a house. He was picked up by DB and he was tortured. And for 10 days, he was not produced before the magistrate. According to the law, if DB or police arrest anybody, then police is bound to hand over him to the magistrate within 24 hours. That is the law. But for 10 days, there was no information to the family about the victim. It was another case of enforced disappearance. And finally, what happened? He died. He was killed, in fact, in custody. So this is an everyday event in Bangladesh now. It is happening every day. So what we are now, organization of SAPI, like SAPI, what we can do? We can create awareness. What Ashrafuzzaman is saying, we have to accept or we have to sensitize the people of Bangladesh that torture exists. The torture in custody, it exists. It is an everyday affair in Bangladesh. We have to sensitize people on that. That is the responsibility of SAPI. And regarding one gentleman has asked a question that where is the guarantee that the next government will not follow the same thing? There is no guarantee. But what we can do 2 things. We can create immense pressure on them. But how? By talking. What we are doing today, by conducting this type of seminars, and also by telling them that we will not tolerate this type of behavior in future also. So basically, we have to take the help of the opinion leaders in the society. The opinion leaders have to really talk more about this torture, and they have to tell the people that we dream about a country where the coercive power of the state will not be used to run a country. Because coercive power of the state, and when it is unlimited, when it is used by a fascist regime like the present one, the country can become an Orwellian state. So one thing that we must put pressure to the people in opposition also, that you have to learn from what this government is doing, and you have to commit to the people that you will not continue this type of governance if you are elected to power. This is one. And second, another point is very important. That is, the perpetrators of these crimes against humanity, they must be brought to justice. There should not be any compromise on that. If we can bring those perpetrators to justice, we only hope that the future officials will not do the same thing. And last point, and then I will finish my speech. Somebody was talking about building of institutions. The unfortunate part in Bangladesh, is what? This government, in 15 years, they have destroyed every single institution of the country. Forget about the building of institution. They have destroyed every single institution, including judiciary. This is the worst part of the whole process, that they have also destroyed the judiciary. So when we talk about the rebuild, in fact, if inshallah we get rid of the present regime, the entire state has to be restructured. The entire state, entire machinery has to be rebuilt. So we should get ready. I mean, we people who we are talking today, I mean, the research, we are talking about research also. So there should be research on how we can rebuild a country like Bangladesh after this fascist regime is gone. So I don't want to, test your patience anymore. But before I conclude, I thank you on behalf of SAPI for the eminent panelists and the keynote speaker for kindly participating in this webinar in a very important day, because today is the day where we are standing beside the victims of torture. We are in support of the victims of the torture. That is the day today. So it is a very important day for any human rights organization. And we are also, in our organization, we take human rights as one of our core responsibility, core principle of our organization. So we thank you very much for your kind deliberation, and you have given time, and you have encouraged us. And hopefully we'll again get the opportunity to hearing from you. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.